Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to my channel, Home Ridge Studio. Today we're going to make a couple of fall wall hangers. They're super simple and budget friendly, and let's waste no more time and get right into the DIYs. So here's the first one, and it's a flower arrangement coming out of a burlap pumpkin. And these are the pieces that you're going to need. I have this cutting board from the Dollar Tree. They have them in all seasons. So I need one of those and a burlap piece. I have this bag in my stash and I just want to use it. I have like 3 of them left. Some picks, whatever colors are your favorites. They're from the Dollar Tree here. Some pit berries, some jute. I did not use the beads, but you can for a hanger. And some ribbon and some foam. So first, I leave all my mistakes in here so I can show you how I overcome them. And this was difficult to try to, melt the glue and peel it off. And this is what happened. I really liked that back board, the color and the lines in it, but I couldn't do it. So I'll put craft paper on that, just glue craft paper on the back of that. And now I'm going to have to paint the board. So this is Antique Waverly Wax, and that's Waverly chalk paint, in the color Plaster. And I dropped that antique wax when the bottle was open. It was brand new, full up to the top, spilled it all over my floor, 3/4 of the bottle. It was a mess, but I did get it all cleaned up, but it took a long time. Anyway, that's my story for today, but it is the truth. I painted this all with just one coat of the chalk paint in plaster, and I painted the sides also, and now I'm just going to distress it with what little I have left of my antique Waverly wax. So I just drag the brush up and down, and then I get a little bit more heavier on the edges and on the sides and around the top there, just to make it look like it was more worn around the edges. And now I'm going to take this burlap bag and I'm just going to cut the burlap out, the plain side right there. And I'm just kind of looking for an edge that maybe I can, pull out the stitching, but not so. I had to cut it. And so here's the piece. I'm going to lay it on, measure it, make sure that it fits the whole entire board. I have this foam left over, is from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut a very thin piece out of that because I don't want it sticking up too much. I want you to be able to see that I'm drawing a pumpkin on this burlap, and I want you to be able to see that it's a pumpkin and flowers are coming out of this burlap pumpkin. And I'm just freehanding this. It is not by any means perfect, and it doesn't have to be because we're going to glue it on top of the foam, and we're going to kind of jazzy it up a little bit. So you can freehand it, or you can print something out and trace it, but it's super simple. And anyway, if you are a subscriber, once again, I want to recognize you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are helping my channel grow, and you are awesome. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing because I just have a lot of stuff to share. I'm so excited to share it with you guys. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Anyway, back to the DIY. I cut that foam down really small and, of course, cut the pumpkin out. And I'm going to hot glue the foam down to the board. I put it in the middle. I probably would have put it down a little bit further toward the end. And that's what it looks like. And now I'm just going to glue around the outside of the pumpkin. And I have my handy dandy little spatula there, and that protects my fingers, even though I still burn them occasionally. I try not to, and that spatula is just really amazing. And they have those finger protectors too. Those are amazing too, but I like this spatula. And so as you can see, that's what it looks like. It's just covering the styrofoam or the foam piece in there. And like I said, just glue down around the outside, or like just the inside of that, because you can see it through the burlap if you glue the whole thing down. Okay, I probably should have moved that down closer again to the edge like I said, but it works out fine. And now I have all these flowers. And the key to it is to make sure that they match. The greens and the leaves match and the flowers match. And if you're using white, you can use light and dark, so you can mix in blues or purples, but kind of make sure that, you know, the color coordination is there, I guess, what I'm saying. I know you guys know what I'm saying. I'm a little tongue-tied today, I guess. I'm a little tired. We're moving my daughter into college, so I've been running around getting things ready. Anyway, I just took all different kinds of stems here that I had. I really didn't have to buy anything this year. I love fall, and I just have gobs and gobs and gobs of fall stuff. So most of this stuff, like I don't know how many boxes I have. I'm just pulling things out of my box. So I just plop them in there. As you can see, the flowers are a little bit more lower, and the tall stemmy type pieces are higher, and then the thicker white ones in the middle. And I didn't glue them in. You can pull them out and replace them if you don't, you know, like what they look like or where they're positioned. You can bend them. And so I just put the jute around the edge because I didn't like the rough edge there. And now I'm making it look more like a pumpkin because it didn't look like one to me. It just looked like a big burlap, I don't know, circle. And then I showed my husband, and he said, oh, yeah, okay, that's nice, because I show him all my crafts, and, like, you know, he pretends to be interested, but, you know, he's really not. And I said, it's a pumpkin, can you see that? And he said, no, where's the pumpkin? And I said, there, the burlap piece. And he said, maybe you ought to paint it orange. And I thought, you know what, that's a good idea. So I'll probably get my chalk paint out in the color pumpkin and just paint it very lightly orange. And then I put jute around the top there. And I was trying to think that it needs something more. It needs a pumpkin. So I had that pick from the Dollar Tree, and I put the pumpkin in, the pine cone in there. And now I'm just making a hanger. So it's a loop. You pull the string through, tie it, put it through the hole, and pull it up. And voila, super easy hanger. Now I had this from the Dollar Tree that I got a year ago, and this is probably the worst ribbon I've ever had. It is wired, and the wire was pulling out, but I just wanted to use this up. And I like it, it's pretty. It's just kind of junky, cheap. Anyway, I dovetailed the ends. I only made 2 pieces, and one was just slightly short than the other. And I just, you know, tied them with some jute and glued them right there on the side, just because I thought that this needed a little bit more. The bottom looks a little boring. And now I have these buttons, and they're from Walmart. You can get buttons from the Dollar Tree too. I like these. They're kind of pricey. I think they're like $11 or something, but you get a big thing. They're wooden beads, or excuse me, not beads, buttons. I like them a lot. So I just put a button in the middle, as you can see. And then I had this welcome fall sign from the Dollar Tree because I still felt like the bottom just needed more. And I stained it with a baby wipe and the antique wax and glued it on there, and that's it. Voila. Simple, easy, budget friendly, and doesn't take much time to make. And here's what it looks like hanging on my wall. And this is the next DIY. And these are the pieces that you're going to need. Some jute, and I have the Waverly chalk paint and plaster, the blessed sign, those flowers, and this house sign in a couple picks. Now, you can get picks like this from Walmart, and you can get them from the Dollar Tree. I believe, no, maybe they were Walmart, but they're $1.34. So I bought 2 of them, or I actually had 2 of them. that were exactly the same. So I'm going to use those. And I just removed the hanger from this house because I'm going to paint it. It is darker, super dark brown, and I didn't want that color. So I'm just putting one super thin coat of the Waverly plaster on this, just really thin. And now after it's dry, I'm sanding off the edges to show the dark color below it, just to distress it, because I do like to distress my pieces a lot. I'm just taking this tool and kind of scratching out the paint because I like those lines there. And now that it's all dry, I'm going to put the hanger back in there. Now you could use this as a shelf sitter if you want. You could just put a little bit of a plaster in there from the Dollar Tree, and before you paint it, and let it dry, paint it, and then you won't see the holes. So I zip tied those two pieces together. Now I am giving them a good fluffing, and I hot glued them really well in the center there. And this blessed piece is that leather that they had at the Dollar Tree last year, and I just kind of arched it a little bit. And I wanted to put a pumpkin in the middle, but my pumpkin was too big, but I felt like it needed something, so I had these burlap flowers, and so I just put that in there, and there you have it. That probably took all of 3 minutes to make, and it's great fall decor. I hope that you like this. I hope you enjoyed my video today, and I will be back very, very soon with some more fall DIYs. Have a blessed day, a blessed week. Bye.